Hello and welcome to MCPSS Athletics. My name is Calvin Chris, Athletic Director, Mobile County Public Schools. In the studio today we have from Citronelle High School, head football coach, Athletic Director Rusty Funk, and varsity head baseball coach Scott Redding. But first, let's get to our scoreboard. In girls basketball, Murphy lost to Key 43-35. Harris led the Panthers with 13 points. Williamson defeated Fairhope 42-35. Johnson led the Lions with 20 points. Viger topped BC Rains 59-42 behind 28 points from Norwood. Theodore nipped Floymington 37-36 as Casher scored the final basket with no time left on the clock. She finished the game with a double-double, 13 points and 10 rebounds. In boys basketball, Todd hit for 19 points to lead Blunt to a 63-28 win over Cottage Hill Christian Academy. Williamson defeated Foley 51-45. Casher led all scorers with 16 points. Cheese scored 10 points in the losing cause as Davidson dropped a 64-40 decision to Fairhope. Baker defeated Citronelle 90-54. McCovery led the way for the Hornets with 17 points. Hazel Green defeated Murphy 67-45. The Panthers were led by Hawkins with 15 points. And that is it for this week's scoreboard. After this message, we'll be back with our first guest.
Here at Citronelle High School, our Signature Academy focus is on advanced manufacturing, industry, and technology. We're also in the middle of a brand new building project, which includes the complete renovation of our career technology building and facility, which will allow us to grow our career tech programs. We are very excited about our relationships with our industries along Highway 43, which is within our attendance zone. And we look forward to building those relationships as we move forward with our Signature Academy program.
Our Career and Technical Educational Program offers advanced manufacturing as our Signature Academy, along with Industry and Technology Academies. All three combined are referred to as the MIT Academies of Citronelle High School. Within each academy, we have career path choices for the students to select. Each of these career pathways are based upon rigor, relevance, and relationship in an effort to prepare all of our students for college and careers.
We're a firm believer in athletics at Wildcat Nation, and we just want to make sure that everybody understands that the changes that we're going through, the new school, the new facilities that are going on, that this is going to be the place to be. We're really extremely excited about the opportunities that we're going to have here at Citronelle.
Welcome back. We have Coach Funk, the head football coach and athletic director at Citronelle High School. Coach, appreciate you coming by today.
Thanks, sir.
Coach, your first year at Citronelle, you want to tell us how it went? I know it was kind of a transition year for Citronelle, but you want to tell us a little bit about that first year?
It was indeed. We started off rough. When we got there in spring, our spring was upbeat, but we saw that we had a long way to go. Had a good summer. Started off the year a little slow, but had some exciting times. The kids, we celebrated every small victory that we could and got better and kept their spirits up. They had been not won a game the year before, and we continued on and were able to pull out 2 wins this year and came close a couple other times, and we feel the program's going in the right direction.
Coach, when you came in during the process last year, had lost a lot of players. Were you able to get any of those kids back out?
We got some. This year was strange. It's like our defensive front. Our starters had never played football before, so at all. Right. So it was one of those that we started from the beginning. and those kids just improved all the way through. You know, I couldn't have asked for more effort out of them. You know, we suffered a lot of injuries. Offensive line wise, I think we went through 26 combinations due to injuries this year, putting that together. So it was a trying year, but like I said, the kids kept their attitude upbeat. They worked to overcome the adversities, and you know, we're pretty proud of them.
Coach, talk a little bit about your area, which I think is the toughest area in this state. Just team after team every week. There wasn't much, you know, the competition was just at a high level every week. So talk a little bit about that.
It's an extreme level. I mean, you know, we're in with Spanish Fort and Daphne, Saraland, and Blunt, and those guys that are perennial powers. All you have to do is drive through Citronelle and then drive through these other areas, and you realize the difference in the struggles we're going to have. You know, we've got a long way in building our program up to meet the standards that are in our region, but that's a challenge that's worth going after. You know, we know what the standards are, and we've got to try to reach that.
Coach, talk a little about one of the, I think, obstacles, and people may not realize it, but I think it affects you, is they're building a new school up there, and you was just right before the season started. I mean, they took your field house down. So talk a little bit about that effect on it.
We do. I mean, you know, we don't have a field house. We do. You know, we're in a building that was built in 1930 right now. The old auditorium is our weight room, and the stage is our locker room. So, you know, we don't have a separate locker room for our freshmen or anything. We don't have enough lockers. Sometimes we got 3 to a locker. We've got no showers, no bathrooms, no running water whatsoever. You know, we've got no practice facility. This year we practiced on the baseball field and tried not to mess it up too bad. And you know, we're just doing what we can while we can. And coming up, you know, when the new school is complete, they will come across the street and they will tear down what we're in now. So we don't know where we're going during that time. Yeah, we could be exactly, you know, in temporary buildings, or we don't know exactly what we're going to be in for the transition. But you know, the future's bright. It would be different if you were sitting there looking at the fact that, you know, you don't have a plan. But there is a plan, and we know that within the next few years, our facilities will be where they're supposed to be. New school, new athletic complex for us. We have a great stadium. You know, you can't complain there. And everything's on the upswing.
Well, that's great. Coach, you are one of our veteran coaches, even though this is your first year in our system. We talk a little bit about your career up to this point.
Well, I just finished my 30th season, which is, I'm not a young coach by any means, but I started my career in Louisiana and moved to Mississippi and put 18 good years in there before I crossed the line. I've just finished my 8th year in Alabama. I'm a rebuilder of programs, what I'm known for. You know, the challenge to me is to come in and take a struggling program and make it competitive. And I've been blessed in my career to have done that. You know, I've played in or coached in 5 state championship games, and we've been fortunate to come out ahead for those. So, you know, whether we can do that at Citronelle or not, we're going to try.
Well, I think they're going to give you the opportunity. It's a great community to work in. Coach, talk a little bit about what you've got coming back for next year. How many seniors are you losing? And you had a pretty young team this year.
We did. For overall, we did. You know, we had 14 seniors, but all of those didn't play full time, and we had several injuries that went about. Defensively, we only lose 1 starter. So we're pretty proud there. Offensively, you know, most of our playmakers are back. We do graduate 5. We got to rebuild a little bit there, but you know, like I said, our quarterback's back and our running back's back. Some are, you know, we're pretty solid, and you know, it's continuing to get better. That's what we want to do. Hopefully, with this new reclassification, maybe we'll be in a different region. We'll just have to see how that goes.
You got any clue? I know
well,
there's a lot of rumors out there.
There's rumors out. If everything stays the same, you know, we have lost about 45 or 50 students from the previous reclassification. We were one of the smallest 6A schools, so we're hoping that we're going to end up being one of the, you know, largest 5As this time.
Well, that's good. That'd probably help you. Although, you know, all these classifications. You know, you still got Vigors and.
Well, I said
and,
you're
you
still
know,
sitting there with Jackson and Viger and you know, there's, you know, St. Paul's. So, you know, there's not a real drop off because
Right.
in this area it's just strong football.
It's strong football. Coach, you know, the season's been over here for 3 or 4 weeks. Have you started preparations toward next year with the off season?
We pretty much have not quit. You know, we, you know, weight room wise, we never stopped. So we did all through the season, and we're still in the weight room. You know, our major off season work has not really started yet. You know, when we say that, you know, come January when we've got no breaks coming, you know, we will hit it very, very hard.
All right. Okay, Coach. Well, we appreciate it. We'll have you back in the last segment. And after this message, we'll be back with Coach Redding.
The Mobile County Public Schools Signature Academies program offers a variety of specialized curriculum for highly interested and motivated students. These academies provide students with choices ranging from aviation to healthcare, advanced information technology to international studies, from engineering to coastal studies. These high-quality, hands-on programs prepare students for careers readily available in Mobile County. Signature Academies program. It starts with us.
I transferred to Viger High School halfway through my sophomore year, and the curriculum there, the instructors, teachers, the whole thing was just a shock to me. At Viger, you were encouraged to critically think, and so I was just well-grounded to move on into college football and then on into the NFL. Well, for me, Viger High School was the start. It's where I started, and I'm very proud of that.
Hi, I'm Martha Peak, Superintendent of Mobile County Public Schools.
And I'm Kay Ivey, your Lieutenant Governor.
We want to remind you to use caution while operating motor vehicles in school zones.
And remember to observe all traffic laws relating to school bus safety and stop ahead when you see red.
Protecting and keeping our children safe, it starts with us.
Hi, I'm Pat Mitchell, Transportation Director for the Mobile County Public School System. Remember, stop ahead when you see red.
Welcome back. We have the head baseball coach at Citronelle, Coach Scott Redding. Coach, appreciate you coming by today. Coach, tell us a little bit about your career. You're a relatively new coach, but up to this point, tell us about your career.
I graduated from Citronelle High School in 2002. Fortunate enough to play college ball at Southern Union, and then from there I got another scholarship to play at Auburn University Montgomery. While I was up there, I coached at Montgomery Academy for a couple years, and then moved back home. Was fortunate enough to be assistant coach, and then after Coach Kelly went back to Baker, I was able to get the head coaching job.
That's great. Did you play for the legend Jabbo?
I sure did.
That's one of my former players. I had him in private school many years ago. He's a great baseball coach. He's tough.
I learned a lot from him.
He's good, and I'm telling you, I know you know how to do a field.
Oh yes, sir.
That guy there could grow grass on cement. So
yes, sir.
That's great. Coach, what have you been doing? I know you have your evaluations, and we're right here on baseball. You can talk a little bit about what's coming up when you start practicing and all.
Well, we have an all-year workout system. If those guys that don't play football, we try to continue to work out, at least lift weights every time we get a chance, even throughout the summer. And then come January, when we're able to throw, we'll start working with our pitchers a lot more, just making sure that they're getting their flat grounds and long tossing like they should, and then hopefully just getting their arms in shape. That's the main thing for us is to keep everybody healthy throughout the year.
Right. Coach, let's talk a little about the weight room. You know, years ago, baseball didn't lift any weights and thought it would harm you, but how is the weight room important for baseball now?
I think it's pivotal. As far as being able to, just run faster, throw harder, hit the ball farther. I think all those are key points, and that comes from lifting weights. Can't perform at a consistent level if you don't have the muscle strength to do it. You know, so you have to be able to gain that muscle to be able to use it.
Coach, talk a little bit about your field house, which is the Taj Mahal of the whole county. It is just absolutely gorgeous. Talk a little bit about the facility you have, and you're very lucky to have it. I know you realize that, and how it come about with Mr. West.
Yeah, we're very blessed. Us getting it was very unfortunate. I hate that the situation that we got it was the reason why we have it. But we're very fortunate to have what we have. We have a top-notch weight room. We have locker rooms for all our boys, JV through varsity. We have indoor batting cages. We can pitch off of them. We have coaches' offices. I mean, it's like you said, it's second to none, and we're very blessed, and we definitely don't take it for granted.
Right. It really gives you advantage during bad weather, because we was talking earlier, last spring was just awful for bad weather, and having that I know really helps. Talk a little bit about your area, who you compete against. Of course, it's different than football, but talk a little about your area.
We're in the same areas with Flora, Blunt, and Saraland. Saraland's always going to be tough. You know, they're a great team. They're coached very well. They got great ball players. We're very excited about trying to go after them again. I think I'm 500 against them right now, so I'm hoping that we can continue to be ahead of them. And Blunt and Flora, they're continuously getting better.
They're getting better.
They are. They're getting better, and you don't turn your back on them. That's for sure. So we're very excited about getting after them this year.
I've talked with the baseball coaches at both Flora and Blunt, and they're baseball people. A lot of schools don't often get that, but they really have done good jobs. And like you say, you got to take them serious.
Yes, sir.
Every game. Talk a little bit about some of your players that you're going to have this year that you're going to be counting on.
We have 7 seniors, and I'm pretty much relying on them this year. You know, we have a couple of upcoming juniors, and maybe 1 or 2 sophomores that we may pull up. But those seniors are going to be pretty key to our success, hopefully. We've got a couple of guys that's been through the program that I've worked for since I've been there. So they know what to expect, and this is part of that consistency that we're trying to get at Citronelle. And them going through it is going to be real. I think it's going to be real important for our success. So.
What do they do in the summer? Is there a program in Citronelle? I know we have travel ball, we have park league. What do your kids do in the summer? Well,
like I said, we work out. We try to work out at least 3 days a week, and then a lot of them play travel ball. So we try to use those summer dates that we're allowed, and then after that, a lot of them join the league at Spring Hill. They had that league back this year, and then some of them go and play travel ball for various teams. So they stay in the game, that's for sure.
Good. That's what it's all about. You just about have to play it year-round in order to compete.
Yes, sir.
Coach, talk a little about your staff, those that are helping you.
I'm fortunate this year. I haven't had the same staff my tenure here, but we've got Coach Johnson, who's going to be our JV coach this year, and he's going to be helping us with our pitchers, and hopefully, you know, him and I can work pretty well with each other and get a program going and stay. Again, I've used that word consistency. I want to stay consistent with our guys, and that's key to our success.
Coach, do you think you may have some prospects this year that maybe can sign and go on to the next level?
We got a couple of guys. They still got to work. I'm not going to say that there is one or not. I'm not really sure. That's up to the other coaches, but we're definitely going to give them a good looking.
We're going to bring Coach Funk back here in his last session, and right after this, we'll be back with our last session with Coach Funk and Coach Reddy.
It started for me when I went into the first grade, and then I went on to George Hall Elementary School, and from there to Williamson, where I graduated. The public school system, it had a great impact on me because not only did it prepare me academically for my future career, but it also prepared me for life. Because of its diversity of students and teachers, it really gave me a well-rounded education.
Welcome back. We're here with the Citronelle staff, Coach Funk and Coach Redding. Coach Funk, you also the athletic director. And
Yes, sir.
People don't realize that sometimes that's almost a full-time job. Talk about those responsibilities and how you have to handle them with the full-time job of head football coach.
Full-time. It's sometimes it can be trying, but it's what I enjoy doing. And at Citronelle, it seems that some of what I'm doing, they're not used to having done before. I had folks ask me the other day that, were my football boosters, well, what am I doing since football's been over with? Have I taken a break? I said, I'm a bit more busy now than I was during football.
Right.
With basketball and trying to get things covered there and everything, and making sure that we're getting prepared for the other seasons. I take my job serious. I don't believe in being an AD in name only. It's like Coach was saying with our kids, it's been the same thing at Citronelle, is we haven't been consistent in our coaching and our coaching philosophies and throughout the program. This year we had to replace both head basketball coaches, soccer coaches, football coaches. We've got too much turnover at Citronelle. He's talking about consistency in the past segment with the kids. Is our coaches, those kids have never had any consistency in our coaching. It's like there's been turnover every other year. And those kids deserve a program that's built for them. And that's my responsibility, making it to where the coaches want to be there, that they're taken care of, that they know you have their back, and that we're going to run a clean and true program. Coach Redding is a kindred spirit of mine. He's a younger version of myself because we're facility we're facility oriented.
There you go. Right.
And we want to build our facilities and make it to where we have the best in the area.
Right. Yeah.
And we're trying to get that within the mindset of the rest of the coaching staff, and we're going to do that.
I believe every time I've gone up there, you have been wide open. I've had to look to find you. A lot of times you go and same place you can find a coach, but you're either on the field and field house doing something, which is a credit to you. Coach, do you think part of the problem in my years in this system is just the distance? A lot of times it's tough to get people that won't make that drive up
Well,
there.
the thing is, that's what we want people not to make the drive. This year I look to try to get as many coaches to move into Citronelle. The thing about it is the folks up there, we're 30 miles north, we're right on the edge of Washington County, but the people want us to go to church with them. They want us to be a part of their community. And as I said, Scott's a part of the community, I'm a part of the community, and we need our coaches to be welcomed into the community, and we need that ability to do that because it's tough. And right now, when you talk about it, Citronelle doesn't have apartment complexes for young coaches to move into, so it makes it difficult. But that's what we're looking for.
Coach Redding, you mentioned earlier that you went to school there. Do you think that's an advantage going to school there? I know sometimes that it can be good or bad, but in your situation, has it been a good thing?
I think so. You have a rapport with the people that are around there, and just to know that I'm not calling myself successful by any means, but somebody that has went to school, they can see that you're trying to do better for your town, your people in your town. So I think it's a benefit, but I definitely, again, I don't take it for granted. I'm blessed to be there.
Coach, talk a little about your administration. Mr. Campbell's pro sports, so talk a little about your administration there.
I couldn't ask for anything better. Mr. Campbell has been 110% behind us. in finding and retaining coaches. He wants a strong athletic program all through, not just football, not just all through. We want to be competitive in everything we do. So having that administrative backing is extremely important. You cannot build what we want to build without the community being behind you, without the administration being. I don't care who the coach is, if you don't have the backing of the community and the administration, it's not going to happen. Right now we have the backing extremely from the administration. We've got to get the community back involved.
Right. Coach, talk a little about your schedule this year. Hopefully you've got some tournaments. I mention this all the time. A lot of times we wind up playing people 3, 4, and 5 times, but with you being up in the north part of the county, are you able to play some of the Washington or Clark County people?
Yes, sir. We're in the Hank-Aaron tournament, and then we go to the Tom Bigby Classic. We play a lot of teams from Washington County, Clark County. We actually are in Thomasville this year, and we've actually expanded into playing T.R. Miller last year, and they're coming back to our place this year. So we're broadening our area, that's for sure.
Coach Funk, I know we haven't been reclassified yet, but have you made any kind of adjustments on your schedule?
We're trying also to try to get Washington County on our schedule and some of those schools, because we're so similar to those in our communities, and we haven't played. We played them this year in JV and doing some things with them, but we're hoping that we're not in a 9-team region anymore, so we can actually spread our wings a little bit in our non-region schedules. Are
you going to be able to play any of the schools like a Satsuma maybe, which is a big money game for y'all? It is. I mean, you have to look at that.
Satsuma, without a doubt, we would love to keep them on our schedule, because that is a good rivalry for both, and we're still working and negotiating with that. Like I said, the ability to maybe get Washington County and possibly Leroy in there, and get those community rivalries back going.
Coach, the same thing with you. You able to play any of those schools? I know Saraland's probably a big rival for you, but any other schools close around that are kind of rival people for baseball?
Well, we were unable to schedule Satsuma this year. Our people started scheduling. Satsuma had to get a new coach, but we wasn't able to schedule them. But we usually play Leroy. We play the Saralands, of course, and we trying to start new rivalries, so we're excited about our schedule.
We've got about 1 minute. I want to ask this question to both of y'all. How, I know y'all are getting more involved in the youth leagues there.
Yes,
You want to talk a little bit about that? I know that's very, very important.
It is, without a doubt. I'm very involved in every Saturday was at the Little League games, and trying to keep up, because you got to build a program from the bottom up, and meet regularly with those that are in charge of it. And right now my wife is actually involved in the basketball league. So we're deeply involved in that.
That sounds great. Well, listen, I appreciate y'all coming by today. Coach, I don't think they could got a better person up there. I think you're the perfect fit for up there. And Coach Redding, same thing with baseball. You that staple that they need. Appreciate y'all coming by.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for watching, and we will see you next week.